Hey everyone, it's Connie Stewart with SimplySimpleStamping.com, and it's Wednesday, and that means it's Stampin' Gals Gone Wild Wednesday. Today is my day to share, and I'm very excited to share with you this very simple and fun way to create a little fun spiral flower using Hershey Kisses. Is that just perfect for spring or for Easter? These are just precious and they are really easy to make. So let's go ahead and get started creating our flowers today. Well, to begin, we're going to be using the spiral flower die from the Celebrate the Everyday catalog. Love this die. I am going to have to be honest with you. I had to play with it once or twice before I got the hang of it. So you might want to try maybe from a scrap piece of paper the first time you use it. I don't know, maybe you're like me and you're just brilliant. You figured it out the first time. But I had to practice a little bit. I have got a piece of strawberry slush cardstock, and I have got it cut 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. So I'm going to lay that on top of my die. We're going to run that through our Big Shot machine. All right, we've got that cut. We do have some scrap here. Hold on to that. Really, we just need just a little tiny bit of it. So if you'll hold on to a little scrap for something for later. Let's go ahead and prep this and make it just look a little bit deeper. I'm going to come in with the strawberry slush ink pad and a Stampin' sponge. And what I'm going to have you do is just sponge the edges of all those fabulous petals. All right, you can see that's just going to kind of deepen my flower, make it look a little bit softer. So I'm going to come in now with my bone folder, and what I need to do is I need to break down the fibers of this flower. I want you to use the sponge side down against your bone folder, and it's almost like curling ribbon. This is just, as I said, we're just kind of breaking down those fibers. All right, so we need to prep this so that we have a space available for a Hershey Kiss. And I'm going to come in with a mini glue dot just because I find this the easiest way. And I'm going to put it on the back side, so this is the unstamped side. And the best way to do this is to count over to between the 8th and the 9th scallop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So in between the 8 and the 9, you'll see the little valley right there. I'm going to bring that around. Oh, I know my fingers are probably in the way and you can't really see. Just like that. And let me show you what that's going to do. I'm going to bring in my little Hershey Kiss. See how that's going to sit really nice inside there? So I've got that all set. Now I can take my my little rose flower here, and we're just going to bring it around. Now, before I started, I actually turned on my hot glue gun. Please do not be frightened that I am using hot glue. Actually, you should be very frightened, but I'm actually going to use it on the cool setting because, well, I'm dangerous with a hot glue gun. But you can see that's kind of starting to curl into a rosette. And what I'm going to do, actually, you know, before I go and get out my glue gun, because it is still kind of warming up, I'm going to do one more quick thing for you. I've got another piece of strawberry slush cardstock here, and I've got the fancy flower punch. I'm actually going to punch out 2 of these, and again, this is just a piece of scrap. I'm going to sponge these as well, and these are going to be some layering pieces that we're going to need for our flower. Now, the other thing I'm going to need to do, again, while I'm waiting for my glue gun to heat up, I've got a piece of scrap of some old Olive Cardstock. I'm going to fold this in half. Of course, this really, guys, it really is just scrap. And I'm going to come in with the leaves die, and I'm actually going to want this one here. The reason I folded it in half is because I'm going to need 2 of those leaves. So I'm going to run this through my Big Shot to get my 2 leaves. Okay, I've cut those out, and I came in with some old olive ink, and I sponged the edges of those as well. So let me kind of have all my pieces here and ready so that as I'm doing my hot glue, I can work kind of quickly. Let's bring in that Hershey Kiss. I'm going to need that too. All right, let's bring in the infamous glue gun. Let me see if I've got, yep, I have glue. So, are you ready? We're going to give this a shot. All right, so as I showed you earlier, we're just going to wrap this flower around, and you see this last little scoop here at the end? That's actually where we're going to put our hot glue and how all this is going to go together. I am going to use my silicone mat. I find that it just works best. We're going to bring this around, and I'm going to hold it, and I'm going to add glue to this bottom area here. Again, cool temp, guys, unless you've got stronger fingers than me. And I'm just going to bring that around like so. I'm holding it, and I'm going to go ahead and put that Hershey Kiss right in, and I'm going to let that sit for just a couple seconds, and I am good. Okay, we're going to go ahead and kind of give some of these petals a little bit of a fold down. Now that's really pretty, but ooh, check it out when I put it and kind of polish it off with that fancy flower. Very nice, isn't it? The other reason I'm using cool temp glue is so I don't melt my Hershey Kiss, because that would be bad, don't you think? All right, so I've glued that on the bottom. I am using pretty much hot glue for everything on this one, guys, because, you know, well, it's out, so I might as well. Let me put my 2 leaves right here. I'm going to put some glob of hot glue on there. We're going to adhere that on and let that cool for just a second. And you can see this silicone mat is great. See all my goobers and all? It doesn't matter because it will not stick to that silicone mat. It's awesome. Now let's add just a little more hot glue here at the bottom. And we're going to take, oh, come here, glue. Sit, stay. And I'm going to just kind of, again, kind of coming off that one. I'm going to add that last flower. Look at that. See, that's going to make the bottom of my flower look awfully pretty. I'm going to set my glue off to the side because I am just about done. Now we could keep it like that, but you know, I thought it needed a little Happy Easter. And this, I'm going to use my Modern Label Punch. My Happy Easter actually came from my Delightful Dozen stamp set. And remember I told you to hold on to that little piece. I'm going to use my Itty Bitty Punch from Itty Bitty Punch Pack. You guys know it's my favorite. If you don't have it, you need it. Again, since I've got glue, why not? We're going to put a little dot of glue, and I mean a little, and we will stick that onto the flower. And then I'm also, ooh, now check this out. I mean, this is like, I'm not even going to squeeze the trigger. Just, well, I'm going to have to squeeze the trigger. There we go. Just the tiniest bit right there on the end. And I'm going to add that little flower. Again, this is why I'm not using hot glue and I'm using cool temp. It's going to give me that right there. And it just needed one last little thing. And I thought that it was just a dot of our silver Dazzling details. I just love that stuff. It just really makes things pop. At this point, as I said, you can kind of take those petals, you can kind of manipulate them a little bit. Let me go ahead and bring in my other flowers here. This one I did in Pool Party, and I don't know if you can see it, but I embossed it with the Perfect Polka Dots embossing folder before I put it together, and I thought that gave a lot of nice texture too. So you can see lots of great options with your flowers, and they are just perfect for spring. So that is your Stampin' Gals Gone Wild Wednesday, guys. I hope you like that one. Now listen, Joe's saying I always have really great videos for you every Wednesday, but did you know that we also have 6 exclusive videos for you each and every month? When you use our special hostess code, which you can find on our websites, if you're in the United States, you'll find that at simplysimplestamping.com. And if you're a Canadian, you can go to stampingjoe.com. And Joe Say will have a hostess code there for you. When you use that special hostess code, our way of saying thank you is to send you 6 exclusive videos and tutorials. So be sure to check that out. We have just a few days left in March for the March tutorials, and then in April, all new tutorials every single month. So be sure to check us out. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in to Stampin' Gals Gone Wild Wednesday, and we will see you next week. Thanks. Bye-bye.